Okay, guys, I noticed one or two of you still a little stuck on finite geometric series word problems. That's the official title. So, as I've been mentioning in the last videos, if you can't find it, as you can see, it's right here in our list of assignments. But if you can't find it that way, just search it. Just type in finite geometric series word problems, and the practice will pop up. Look for the little pencil, symbol, right? Okay, let's do a few of these. So guys, we're told at this shopping mall, 120 people showed up the first day. And each day it becomes more popular, right? More people are showing up. It's growing by 10% each day. Now, the first thing to understand, guys, if I have 100%, that's everybody. For 10% more, that means I would do 110% to get everybody, including 10% more. So, they want to know the total number of shoppers after 7 days. Now, guys, because we are multiplying by that 110% over and over again, because it's growing by 10% each day, this is geometric, right? It's a multiply problem. So, how do we find geometric? Well, the formula goes like this. S sub, in this case 7, is going to equal whatever our first number was, a sub 1, which in our case actually is 120, times with, and this is a crazy looking ratio, 1 minus our ratio, which in our case is 1.10 to the 7th power, divided by 1 minus the 1.10. Now what I basically did, guys, here's the actual generic formula. If I want to know the sum of n number of days, I'm going to take its initial amount, I'm going to times it by 1 minus the ratio to the n power, divided by 1 minus the ratio. In our case, A1 was 120. N is 7 because we're doing the first 7 days. And our rate is 1.10. So, because remember again, we want 110%. And if you forgot, what you do is you move the decimal over 2 spaces to make it into a number again. Hopefully that looks and sounds familiar. So we're using 1.1. So what I did was I clicked on the calculator button in here, guys. As you can see, it popped up over here. And I first decided I would do the weird part. So I did 1 minus 1.1 to the 7 power. That's this weird negative number. So I did basically what I'm circling in green, guys. Now I'm going to divide by 1 minus 1.1. So I'm dividing by, in parentheses, 1 minus 1.1. So now I get this multiplied number. From there, guys, I just did all of this. All I need to do now is just times by 120, and I'll get S sub 7, the sum of the first 7 days. So as you can see over here, here's a lot of the same work. I went ahead and times by 120. And since there's no such thing as 0.46 of a person, guys, we'd round off to either 1138 or 1139. Now they said round your final answer to the nearest integer, so that's why the nearest integer is 1138. So we would put in 1138 and we'd get that one right. All right, let's do another one. This time we have a swing, or a monkey swinging back and forth from a tree. Back and forth. We know that each time it swings, though, it's going to get shorter and shorter and shorter, each of the swings, right? As a matter of fact, it gets 4/5 shorter each time it swings back and forth. On the first swing, this initial arc right here is 20 meters. They basically told us a sub 1, the beginning point, right? The beginning number. Okay, so guys, remember, the formula is this again. Okay, they want to know how much distance the monkey swings, total distance, after 10 swings. So what they want is S sub 10. So N is 10. We already know the initial distance swung was 20. So we have 1 minus. Now what is our rate? 4/5, right? And in this case, since we want to do it 10 swings, we're going to do it to the 10 power, and we're going to divide by 1 minus 4/5. Now, guys, I'm going to do all of this in the calculator again. Watch this. First, I'm going to do this part here. 1 minus 4/5 to the 10 power. Guys, in calculators like this one, get used to using parentheses when you want to type in fractions, by the way. So we get 0.8926 something, right? Now what? Well, if we're following the formula, we want to divide by 1 minus 4/5. So notice I'm dividing by parentheses 1 minus 4/5. And I get this multiplier number. Now what? Well, we just need to times it by 20, and we'll get the sum after 10 swings. So notice right here, guys, I took that answer times 20. Rounding that off, I would say it's 89. They want the nearest meter, so the answer is 89 meters. But the other thing, again, guys, you're doing, if you're doing this with me, is hopefully you're practicing to use a calculator better. That in itself is a valuable skill you ought to, work on. Let's do one more, guys. This one's a little different. That's why I want to do one more. This time, Francisca earns a salary 2% higher than her previous year's salary. So it's going up by 2%. Now, guys, keep in mind that 2%, 100% means the whole thing. 2% means 102%, right? 102% means the 100% plus the additional 2% gain. So that's the ratio we're going to use. In her first 5 years at this job, she earned a total. So they told us in the number of years, they told us the total already for those number of years, for those 5 years. So we're doing S sub 5. And we know S sub 5 is already $345. What we don't know is her first year's salary. That's A sub 1. What we do know is we can times that by 1 minus. Our rate again is 1.02. Remember, we got to move that decimal over 2 spaces. Okay. In this case, to the 5 power, because we're doing it for 5 years, divided by 1 minus 1.02. So using our calculator, guys, we're just going to do it in steps. So I'm going to do that first. So let's see here. Actually, since it's working backwards, guys, here's what I did. Please follow. I typed in this number because I knew I was dividing by this, right? So how do I get rid of a divide is I actually took this times the 1 minus 1.02 to get rid of the divide part. So that's what I did. I took my total for 5 years. I times it by that denominator, right? 1 minus 1.02. I got this weird negative number, which is kind of freaking me out, but don't worry. The numbers will work out in the end. Now what? So I know that what I have now, I'm just going to take my time here, is negative 3,746.9, right? that equals A1, which we don't know, times 1 minus 1.02 to the 5 power. So guess what, guys? All I have to do now is divide by whatever this quantity is, 1.02, 1 minus 1.02 to the 5 power from both sides, right? That's a 5 power there. Better. And if I do that, do I not get A1, which is our first year salary? So that's what I did. I took our weird answer there. I divided by parentheses 1 minus 1.02 to the 5 power. And I got this answer. Now, guys, they said round off to the nearest thousand. So isn't this right here just simply 36,000? And that's what I would type in to get the credit. So what did we learn in this problem, guys, is she started out at 36,000, got her salary bump every year by 2%. After 5 years, she's totaled over $187,000 in salary in 5 years. Not too bad. Okay, not too bad at all. But anyways, guys, hopefully this, if my previous videos did not help you, hopefully this one did. I want some of you to give this one more try. Finite geometric series word problems. Okay. Also, hopefully, if you checked in today, you know, I want you to start working on matrices, a little bit. Just some basic matrices stuff, guys. Okay. See you around.